will start our first annual 23-24 SHAC meeting at 4:35. There is a quorum, and first order of business is thank you. Thank you for taking time out of a long day. So I'm welcoming each and every one of you. We don't have any public comments. Understand that with the SHAC committee, it's our duty to provide the best health opportunities for our children. There's been some legislative changes, some non-legislative changes, and also some changes that we're going to make. And further down the line, we'll have to have a vote in regards to this. So, our wellness policy was revised at the end of the school year. There are some things that will change. One of them in regards to the upcoming board meeting that the board will have to vote on. And we'll go over that in just a little bit. But there's no need to review the policy until we get the changes in place. So that will be in our next meeting. All right, I'm gonna go a little bit out of order. I've asked Mr. Wherry to come in. For those of you that don't know, in 1819, we had the influx of vapes. It skyrocketed. And 2018, 2019. Yeah, not, I know it's been a, yes, yeah. That's when the vaping issue initially kicked off for Venus ISD. And so it has steadily progressed into, as we all know, the THC stuff. The one thing that we've noticed over the last couple, 3 years that campus folks will understand completely is the fact that that trend has trickled down. So now we have not just high school kids, we have down to 6th grade being caught with vape and vaping material. So one of the things that we're going to do today is ask Mr. Ware to come over. Our typical policy has been, you know, if you're caught with any kind of e-cigarette, vape, that sort of thing, it's a 30-day placement and we review at 15. The state embarked on some legislation that hadn't fully passed through yet, but we're going to get ahead of the curve. And so I asked Mr. Wherry, he's the resident expert as far as some of the things that have come down the pipe. And we're going to look at changing what we typically do on the vaping side of it as far as consequences. The legislature did pass the fact that it's an automatic 30 days if you get caught with vaping materials. So without going any further, Mr. Wherry, you have the floor.
All right, thank you.
And you need to be in front of the mic or get a mic by you.
All right, thank you. So I attended a conference through the Texas State School Safety Center, and they proposed two options for us to utilize. One being through Stanford's REACH lab, which is the Stanford, you have it on with y'all. They offer multiple options. The one right here. This one. Oh, you don't have this part. There you go. There you go. It's called the U. The one we're going to look at is the Tobacco Prevention Toolkit, You and Me Together Vape Free. It's there's 3 programs: elementary, middle school, and high school curriculum. There's a 6-lesson program where there is a parent letter, there's a pre-survey, a post-survey through Kahoots. It's interactive. There's no teacher engagement. That it's a self-paced, so the students can work through it. They can do the assignment, the assessment, and then continue on through the lessons. The advisor or the person going through the lessons can check for understanding, check to see if they are gaining the instruction that they need from it, and then give them a overall grade based on their assignment or the assessment on there. Like I said, there's 3 levels, elementary, middle school, and high school on that program. The one thing that I did find to be very beneficial is that there is a parent letter, there is a survey, there is post-assessment, where our current program, there's not really much of that. We don't know if they have gained any evidence of understanding of their situation. So I do like that. It is interactive, and it is self-guided. The second program is Don't Blow It, Anti-Vaping Campaign. This one is a very short program. The student would be able to do it in a matter of 30 minutes or less. The program right here, it's one program. There'd be a pre-survey, pre-evaluation. They would watch a 10-minute video. It is student-led. There is a video of students, high school level students, talking about their addiction to vaping and other addictions. Primarily, it's only tobacco, and then there would be a post-assessment and then a quiz. That is the extent of that program. We wouldn't really have the ongoing assessment. So the main difference is it is only vaping, and the Stanford Reach Lab does go into cannabis. It doesn't go into much of the other, it doesn't hit many of the other aspects. It does touch a little bit of alcohol and opioids. So that's it.
And the primary difference is one is just hard copy and the first one was
Yes, sir.
online?
Well, they both have an online aspect, the video for the second one. There is a major aspect of watching the PowerPoint or Canvas interactive form, but it can all be done on paper copy to see what your assessment is. But it is all still self-guided.
I think the big difference is one is a one-time, you watch the 10-minute video, you do the pre-assessment, you do the post-assessment, and the other one is 6 lessons.
And it's only one grade level, really. It's only high school age.
Okay.
Secondary, I would say.
Well, and the purpose behind this is to get ahead of the curve for the legislative sanctions that are coming down the pipe. It may not be this session, but it will more than likely be next session. It might be in the special session. So this would replace the need for the paper for the 15-day review, and it would be more of a cohesive standard across the board. And so with that, Mr. Wherry, which would your recommendation be?
My recommendation right now is that we do the REACH lab, the 6-lesson program through Stanford.
Okay. We're going to jump down to the action item number 7 because this is the only action on the docket today. I need a motion for which program that we want to adopt.
I'll make a motion that we adopt the Stanford Reach Lab vaping program. I'll second that motion.
Got a second by Ortiz. All in favor? None opposed. Thank you, Mr. Wherry. All right. We will get into our normal order of business. First up is Mr. Brown in regards to drug testing.
Good evening, everyone. We started our drug testing this school year on July 27th, August 3rd, and August 10th. That was when we did our initial baseline testing for all of our high school extracurricular activity students. Through those 3 dates, we had a total, through those 3 dates, and we've also had 1 random testing so far, and that was last month in the end of September. And through all of those, we've had 253 baseline testers. In total, we've had 291 students that's been tested. So the baseline testers, then you add in the 10 from middle school, and then our random testers from the high school. We have a total of 291 tests this year so far, 0 positives with illegal substances.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Next item is social emotional learning piece. As a program that we had adopted a couple of years ago was the PASS program. That PASS program is going away. We were going to have a committee meeting yesterday. Unfortunately, Dr. Morgan's been ill, so it's been postponed till tomorrow. But once we have that meeting, that is something else that we'll have to take into consideration to add to our wellness program. The healthcare, I visited with the district nurse today. There's been a little upswing in the COVID positives, both children and adults. And so that's one concern. The biggest issue that seems to be causing students and staff to be absent is the virus, some type of virus, whatever it may be, or sinus congestion. All right. Any of the campus principals want to touch on any of the physical activities that are planned on the campus?
Elementary is doing a fun run. Venus Elementary is planning some sort of color run, fun run, something for this fall, sometime after Halloween. So we're excited about that.
At the middle school, our counselor sent out like a teacher wellness bingo, and so teachers have been doing things on their bingo cards, like a self-care type bingo. And then as far as kids go, we have already started and mostly completed our physical fitness. It used to be the President's Fitnessgram, and so we have that. I think we're complete with PE. We just have athletics still to do.
Thank you both. Moving down to child nutrition, Tina couldn't be here with us today, and she's already sent out notices to the campuses. Next week is National School Lunch Week, and so there will be announcements made, and she will be sending over material to post and to hand out and send home with children about the National Nutritional Week.
She's also she's also reached out to me about doing some student taste testing in October. So some of my student council kids will be doing taste tests on new foods for the cafeteria.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Buck. We've already covered the one action item that we were going to address today. Is there any open discussion about anything that we need to discuss while we're all together? No. Any recommendations for our next meeting that we need to discuss? Changes, address, those sorts of things. Like I said earlier, based on some board votes and some of the things, one of the big issues that came out of this legislative session is the Narcan. And initially Narcan was supposed to be secondary. Well, now, based on the latest legislation, it will be all the way down into elementary. It'll be all campuses.
Hey, I have a Narcan question, because this was asked of me and I didn't know the answer. Do we have Narcan on hand, like at the football field, at the baseball field, at the softball field?
I don't know if they have the actual dispensers. I do know that our PD has Narcan on them at all times, and so that would be a good piece of information. I don't know as far as having one at the stadium, having one at softball, having one at baseball has been addressed.
The only reason I ask is because it was approached to me that we have a community member who has a relationship with Children's, and they are willing to supply them for all of those places. I didn't know the answer, and her concern was that there's not always a police officer at all of the events, and so that being an issue.
Okay, if you'll pass that information along, and we'll get it to the district nurse, and then we'll take it from there. Thank you. If there's no other items that we need to discuss, we're going to adjourn this meeting at 4:51. Thank you all.